Hi, very happy today. Today I have my life coach, my leadership coach, Gail, over here to share with us some very good tips for leaders or business people, or if you a personal really want to have a good start to have a great start off to a new year. So 4 things that Gail is going to talk to us. Hi, Gail, can you talk to us or introduce yourself to us a little bit more?
Okay. Hi, I'm Gail Guest Brown, and I'm an executive leadership coach. I do leadership, I'm a leadership training firm in California. But Doreen is my client, and she's invited me to join us today. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. Can you see this, Doreen?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, my practice is leadership coaching. I function as an confidential ally at work, or I typically my clients are women in leadership roles, or they have their business, or they're running nonprofits, but they have responsibilities outside of their home. So this is a great caption here. I help with high achieving women. One-on-one leadership coaching happens in a one-on-one safe space. Nowadays, it happens virtually. In the past, it used to happen in person. But I help them to, get clarity and to achieve their goals. I do, sometimes I'm working with women of color who are dealing with inequities in the workplace, pay inequities, and, um, racial inequities sometimes. And it can be very helpful to have a coach to help work through those issues at work. So that's my heart. I love coaching women. I hold a vision for women, to see women, stand in their power and commanding their world. That's my vision. But I also do leadership development with organizations, and I customize workshops for whatever they need for their leaders. This year, or actually the last couple of years, I've added a racial equity series to my leadership development training. And that has been really hot topic this year. Implicit bias training, allyship, have belonging and inclusion at work. That's been really hot this year. And I also do speaking. So I speak at homes. I mean, at churches. I speak, definitely speak at home, but but I also speak in organizations. I've spoken at Dell and Apple and Austin. So and a church at Austin too. So I speak nationally, and I really missed that part of my practice this year with COVID. So this is me. You can reach me at guestbrown.impact.com, and my email is at guestbrown.impact@gmail.com. So I thank you for this opportunity to introduce me to your clients and your friends, Doreen. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, Gail, for great introduction. Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you are needing, some people, I have been staying with Gail probably over 6 months now. Anyway, I love each time when we meet, when we talk. She's so sharp in observing. Even there, like my expressions, there's something that I did not know myself, and she can just code on it and just really give me a very good suggestion. So I was like looking so much, forward to talk to her, to have her to improve my leadership skills, my personal life, the stay on my core values, or how to be a better myself each time after I talk to her. Yep. So Gail, talk to us 4 things that you would like to
Yeah.
suggest us.
So four
Yes.
things to help get your new year off to a great
Mhm.
start. So, we've had a heck of a year this year. It has been, it's been traumatic. It started out with COVID in March. We all started out with these great plans for the New Year's, all these things we were going to get done for our businesses and our homes. And then COVID hit. And, you know, it was, it started off slow, and now it's up to a hot and rapid pace. And I don't think we are really those numbers that come across our screen, those are people. Those are people's dreams and people's family members. And by the end of the year, we will hit 400,000 deaths due to COVID. And that is a lot of people that were once here and not here any longer. That means that our country, by the time this is over, we will all know someone who's died from the complications of COVID-19. And that this country is grieving right now. There are a lot of people grieving across this country. So the country has been through a lot. And then in May, we turned on our television and watched George Floyd die on television. And that was traumatic. It was akin to watching 9/11, when we all watched 9/11. And that is another collective trauma that the nation is going through. So this is a time of just upheaval for our country. When that happened, we followed the news about disparate impact on Brown and Black people for not just COVID, but economic losses, right? So our folks are being hit hard with regard to who's losing jobs, who's losing money, who's losing their lives as a result of this. So this is a year like no other in our country, right? And so I think we need to keep that in mind. I mean, I think some of us are trying to go on like nothing is happening, but this is huge. It's huge. It's a good time to have a coach. So Doreen is smart to have a coach through this time, because coaches are another accountability partner that can help keep you on track. It's another person to talk about all the things that are going on for you this year, and to keep, sometimes just two heads are better than one, right? And someone outside of yourself can see what you can't see. So it's a great time to have a coach. It's a great time to have therapists. You can't even get in a therapist's office this year, because this is something we haven't experienced before as a nation. So, or at least not in 100 years. So this is huge. And all of this is impacting us now. Thank goodness we have the vaccine coming, right? And we're at the beginning of the end of this COVID-19. And hopefully people will get back to work. We won't regain the people we've lost. So we have to keep this in mind. Our friends, whether you've been impacted or not, our friends are grieving. Everybody knows someone who's been impacted. The other thing we had was record storms. In the Gulf, we had record fires in California. So this has been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year. But it is just about over, I'm happy to say. This year is just about over. So when we get into 2021, what do you want to be about? What do you want to be doing? So this is a great time to be reflective. So number one of the 4 things is to spend some time in reflection. And when you spend time in reflection, that means get out your journal, sit down, get a place where you can't be distracted. Give yourself at least 30 to 40 minutes to reflect on this year, because even in spite of all that has happened, we have still been able to accomplish some things. And we want to make note of what we've been able to accomplish and appreciate that we have, appreciate ourselves for what we pushed through and what we were able to still do in spite of COVID-19. I wasn't financially, my business just began to pick up because of the racial equity stuff. So I was grateful for that I had diversified my income stream enough to have a contract with the University of California, Davis, that allowed me to really, and they really needed more racial equity training. So that really saved my business this year, right? So, and that's one lesson for business owners, is just to have a diversified income stream, not just one line of business. But back to reflection. So what did you learn this year? What did you learn that you can take forward with you into next year? What are you proud about? What were you still able to do? Who were you able to support, right? Did you show up the way you wanted to during COVID? And if you didn't, this is a good time to make note of that and think about, how do you want to show up in 2021? Who do you want to be in 2021? What goals do you want to accomplish, right? This is a great time for reflection. The last week between the end of the year and the beginning of the new year, that is awesome planning time, right? So the second thing I want to talk about is, the feel-good trifecta. So I learned this trick from William Arruda, and he's a coach. He's kind of like a master coach. But, this year has been a little bit like a run-on sentence. You could lose track of days because we couldn't get out of the house. You wouldn't know what time it was, what day it was, right? It was like a run-on sentence without any punctuation. But the feel-good trifecta is a good way to put a punctuation in your day. So I like to do this daily. You could do it weekly, right? But don't wait to do it monthly, because you need some support and some affirmations to keep going sometimes. So in the new year, think about this as a new practice, a new habit to begin. So at the end of each day, I want you to think about three things. One thing you accomplished in your business today, right? One thing you learned today. What did you learn today? Because, as we go through life, we are picking up all kinds of great information and learnings, but sometimes we don't benefit from it because we forget it. So in this way, we're really punctuating. What did I learn today? And keeping track of it. So at the end of each day, if you keep a diary or a planner, I love my passion planner. But if you have a planner like this, at the end of the day, keep track of it. Put one thing I did right. One thing I accomplished in my business. And the second thing is one thing you learned. The third thing is one thing you're grateful for, right? Because gratitude can really get you through some tough days. And even though we're going to be at the beginning of the end of COVID, I don't think we're not through the tough days yet. In fact, we've got some pretty tough days ahead as the numbers of deaths and cases continue to rise, right? And so the tough days are not behind us yet, but we can get through it with gratitude, right? And so we want to keep track of just one day, and it has to be something different every day, right? Because being connected to what's going good in your life can really, really pull you through. I remember, I'll tell you a story. When I was going through my divorce, it was grim, right? I was in this little bitty apartment. It was a lot of peace in that little bitty apartment, I will tell you this. But I was going through this divorce, and I was in this little bitty apartment by myself. And it was, my living was meager. I was really feeling down. But I got a gratitude journal, and every morning I would write down three things I were grateful for, even if it was just that I had a bed, that I had, a safe place to lay my head, that I had enough food for tomorrow, enough gas in my tank. So little gratitudes every day can really help you through tough times. Now, some of us aren't in tough times. Some of us, even like myself, my business was thriving this year. So it's still a good practice to stay connected to gratitude, because it keeps you humble, and it keeps you realizing how much you have, and it keeps you realizing how much you have to give, right? Because to whom much is given, much is expected, right? If we have a lot, then we should be sharing a lot. We should be donating a lot. We should be, helping this world to get through this. So that is the second thing for the new year. The first thing, spend time in reflection. The second thing, the feel-good trifecta. Three things every day as you end your day. And the third thing is called CEO work. If you are the CEO, and I'm the CEO of my business, I'm the chief executive officer of my business. If you're the CEO of your home, you're the CEO of your office, you're the CEO of your work life, you are the person in charge of getting things done, right?
Mhm.
And so you have to think about how much work did I do today that was CEO work. So
Mhm.
what is CEO work?
Mhm.
CEO work is the work that only you can do.
Mhm.
Now, I happen to know Doreen is good about this. She does the strategic work. She has other people who are helping her to do
Mhm.
things that other people could do.
Mhm.
But there are certain things that only she can do as the owner of her business, and she
Mhm.
does those things.
Mhm.
You'll want to make sure you'll do a scan on at least a monthly basis to see how much CEO work you're doing.
Mhm.
And if you're not doing 60% CEO work, then think about shifting, thinking about whether you need a virtual assistant. And I am like calling the kettle black because I need a virtual assistant right now, right? Because I know that I'm doing too much of my own administrative stuff,
Mhm.
right? I need someone to help me get that stuff done. So make sure you're doing the administrative work, the growth work for your business, um, spending time with clients and prospects. Only you can do that. Calling your customers, only you can do that. Lead development, business development, networking. Other people can network for you, but they can't represent you like you can. So make sure you're doing 60% of the time in your CEO work in your business in the new year. And you can do an assessment and scan of your calendar, like on a monthly basis, to make sure that's true. And the fourth thing with regard to the new year and getting things in order is the game changer.
Mhm.
So, the game changer for you for the new year is the work or the goal that would take you to the next level.
Mhm.
It was the one goal that would have the most impact on your life right now.
Mhm.
And you'll want to spend some time with this one. If you think about one thing that you would want to, would have the most impact for your business, for your life, for your job, what is that one thing? Write that one thing down. So let me silence my phone. As you think about that, put a circle in the middle of the page and put Game Changer 2021 in the middle. And then lines off of the circle represent the things. I want you to set your timer for 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute game changer. Set your timer for 5 minutes and write down everything that you need to do to make that goal come true. So for example, 2 years ago, my game changer was write my book, right? I felt like as a coach and a leadership, if I were an author as well, that would really be a game changer for me. It would open doors for me. I would get another opportunity to have an audience with people. I could speak more. Speakers seem to need a book. So that was my game changer. And I sat down.
I didn't understand that.
Okay, that's because I'm not talking to you. My phone thinks I'm talking to it all the time. But so 5 minutes to kind of think about what would really shift things for your business, for your life, and write those things down. You can come back and visit it again later, and you will. But after you spent 5 minutes thinking about it and thinking about all the things it would take to do that, you make a line up to the circle and you put those things on the line, right? You look across that line and you set your timer for another 5 minutes and think through what it would take and put dates on when you would like to get those things done by. And you have the beginning of your planning for your game changer. Now, I'm going to tell you that the game changer is pretty powerful because you're going to revisit that at least once a month, right? You revisit that, and it's amazing just how the magic of setting your intention to get something done will bring the resources that you need to get it done. You'll start to pay attention to things more. So, think about when you decide, oh, I want to buy a yellow Volkswagen. And as soon as you decide on the color and the car, then you start seeing them all over. You go outside and there's a yellow Volkswagen. There's a yellow Volkswagen. And so you begin to see them everywhere. And it's the same thing with setting your intention for writing a book. I began to see workshops everywhere on where to write a book. Come meet with us once a week and get your book written. I began to see things because now my eyes are open to it. My intention is set, and it's true. So last year, my game changer was to update my website. And then COVID hit and my business took off. But I'm here to tell you that I had to look at that game changer every month and know that I wasn't getting it done, right? And so, but just setting that intention is so strong. So I put a down payment this month on my game changer. So the year's not over. So it won't be done, but it will be done by the beginning of the new year, right? So did it get done on the times that I put on this paper? No. Life took over and I had to take care of what was in front of me first. But it still will get done. It may not get done when I said it would have, but it will get done. My book got done right as I planned it. But sometimes life interferes and we have to be flexible with life because we don't control everything, right? And that's a lesson in and of itself. We don't control a lot, right? Control is in fact an illusion. And we can do our best, we do our planning. The scripture says that a man makes his plans, but God orders his steps, right? So I'm a big planner. I like to make plans. Any questions, Doreen, about the 4?
I think out of the 4 points while you were talking, I'm also writing my notes as well. So the one that I would like to dig a little bit deeper is the game changer number 4. Is it similar to, because you were just talking about like the examples that you give to is only one, let's say 2 years ago, you were thinking about writing a book and this year you were thinking about updating your website. Is it something like biggest goal, like biggest desire thing?
No, that can be big. This is something that would have an impact, would have the biggest impact on your business. So it might not be your long-term goal. It might not be your 5-year goal. It's just like, if you think about your business, what, my website, it was 4 years old. It is 4 years old. It hadn't been updated in 4 years. It wasn't even current. It wasn't even up to date. I was embarrassed to send people to it, right? So that was something that was just important to do. It would be a game changer because it wasn't revenue producing either. So, it really wasn't doing anything for me. So it would be a game changer because people would be able to schedule appointments there. They'd be able to sign up for courses there. It would be more accurate about my offer, right? And I could use it more. But as it was, I wasn't using it because it was so outdated. So a game changer is something that, it's in the name. So it would just shift things for your business. It would just open up a new revenue stream. It would, really help your business flow or your work. If you were at work and let's see, your team was needing something, but nobody was working on it. And you thought, oh, this would be a game changer for us at work. If we could just do this one thing, right? So it doesn't have to be huge, start, updating your website it's not a huge life plan or anything like that. But so it's something that would have a big impact.
One thing or like several things?
Well, it's one thing, but to get it done, it's going to take several steps, right?
Okay.
Right? It's going to take several steps to get that done. You've got to research for one of the lines on my thing was research web device, research web people, determine costs, that kind of thing. Put your contract a vendor. What's the messaging you want on your website? Branding, get a new logo, develop a timeline. These are the things that are mine off of my game changer, right? And so it's going to take several steps to get that done. And it's kind of like a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I think
Can you think of another name? Because maybe that name isn't translating for you, Game Changer. It's but in English, it kind of, I should probably look that up. But in English, it's kind of something that shifts your takes your offering to a new level,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I've heard people say, level up your business, or, you know, really.
I think we have a team meeting. We should be able to identify it. But for my personal to think about Game Changer, I would think about like probably 5 to 10 things instead of just one thing.
Well, we all have many things to do.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But the Game Changer is something that is going to really make a difference. It's the highest impact.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Game Changer, you know, there are many things I could do. I could clean my closet. I could do a lot of things I'd want to do. But what's going to have the highest impact to me?
Mm-hmm.
And you get to determine what highest impact means, depending on what your values are and what you're trying to get done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was the thing. Those were the things that would have the highest impact to me as an author or me as a coach. Highest impact things. There are many other things I have to get done throughout the year, right? But that's the highest impact item.
I think for if people really in the business field or out in the working field, I think they probably can, spend some time to sort it out and to identify that, what you just say, Game Changer, the highest impact. But how about some people who are the CEO of their own home, like stay-home moms, or they are just CEO of their own small, their families?
Yeah.
Like how do we help them with the Game Changer thing?
So that's a cute idea. So, I mean, we all have to prioritize, right? Like, and the Game Changer is just your highest priority thing. So a stay-at-home mom has to do many things throughout the day, right? She's got to get dinner in, she's got to get the kids to school, she's got to get clothes washed, she's got to cook dinner, all of these things. But when she thinks about her household as a whole, and she says, what would really make a difference for me and all the things I've got to manage? Maybe this is the year I get someone just to do laundry. If I could just get someone to do laundry, I think I could be better, be able to better do these other things. Or if I could just get a housekeeper this year, then I could also help the kids with school. I could, I could free up some time for myself to go to mom's groups, right? But right now I'm doing all the chores, right? And so a Game Changer might be something like that. This year, I'm going to get a housekeeper at least once a month, right? To do all the heavy lifting. And on that day, when I have a housekeeper in, I'm going to go to a mom's group and connect to moms so that I can both develop myself as a person and have some social, right? Instead of doing all these chores that are very important to keeping the house running. But yeah, especially new moms. I think new moms have the most trouble keeping their social networks intact because there's so much to manage, right? So they would identify the one thing that would really help them balance all that they had to do. Maybe the Game Changer is, I spend so much time vacuuming and sweeping every day. This year I'm gonna get a iBot. What do they call it?
Robot.
That sweeps the house.
Yes.
iRobot, is it that right? And it sweeps the house for you, right?
Yes.
And that's gonna free up an hour each day. And during that hour, I'm gonna do something that supports me. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read a book I haven't been able to read. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna go to get my nails done. So it's the highest impact thing that's going to help you with all of the things that you manage.
Yep. Okay. That's very good.
Is that helpful?
Yes, it is. It is very good. Yep. or the other way I can think about myself, maybe there's something I need to do, but I struggle the most. Like for me right now, just like my morning routine. It's just like really need to get back to morning routine to exercise. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you think it's really about impact. So there's a lot of important things we have to do. Right? So impact is that going to have, for me, a morning routine is, I can't live without that. I can't do all the things I have to do without a morning routine. But it's whatever that thing is for you that would allow you to have the most impact in your business, in your leadership, in your work. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely will give you more thoughts on that part. Yep. Okay. Thank you so much, Gail. I will put your information, later on in the content, so people will know to reach you if they need additional help. Okay. Yep.
All right. There I am again.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
All right.
That's very good. Thank you so much, Gail, for spending time with us and give us these wonderful 4 tips. Definitely, I'm going to ask some of my friends and also our team to take a look and really make notes. This is great information.
Thank you. And I so appreciate it. And have a great new year. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you, Gail.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.